Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is October 27th, 2024. In my message 2 days ago, I shared with you about the Israel delay of their Iran strike. This came out in many different articles. On the last day of Tabernacles, Israel will delay Iran strike. Israel has delayed Iran retaliation, October 24th. Israel delays Iran retaliation. So in spite of the fact that Israel has attacked Iran, the original report of a delay did come out on the last day of Tabernacles. So there was a delay, and there is a time frame that we need to consider that is shown to us in the book of Haggai. In the book of Haggai, chapter 2, it talks about the 21st day of the 7th month, that this will be the time that I will shake the heavens and the earth. And this happened on the last day of Tabernacles. The delay was announced. It goes on to say in Haggai chapter 2, in the 24th day of the 9th month, I will shake the heavens and the earth. And so we have a delay that goes from Tabernacles to Hanukkah. The 24th day of the 9th month is Hanukkah Eve. And as I explained to you in my previous videos, all of this information is going to be connecting us to Hanukkah and to Christmas. I did a 2-minute overview trailer video to give a quick summary of everything that I went over in my last video. I will leave that link here for you. And you can get all of this information in 2 minutes in this video. Now I want to talk to you about the conjunction of Hanukkah and Christmas. Hanukkah begins on the evening of December 25th. What does this mean? Chrismukkah. Chrismukkah is it's not a name that I'm making up. It's not something that I'm inventing. It's a term. It's a pop culture portmanteau neologism referring to the merging of the holidays of Christianity's Christmas and Judaism's Hanukkah. It first rose in the German-speaking countries with middle-class Jews of the 19th century. After World War II, Chrismukkah became particularly popular in the United States, but is also celebrated in other countries. The history of Chrismukkah, the proximity of the beginning of Hanukkah festival on the 25th of Kislev to Christmas led to the so-called December dilemma for Jewish families living in societies that were largely Christian. The history of an informal merger between Hanukkah and Christmas dates back to the 19th century Germany and Austria. In German, it is called Weihnachten, a combination of words Weihnachten, Christmas, and Hanukkah. Now, we don't need to get into all the history of Christmas, but just a few pointers giving an overview of what the Bible says about Christmas. The Bible does not give the date of Jesus' birth, nor does it say that we should celebrate his birthday. As McClintock and Strong's Encyclopedia states, the observance of Christmas is not of divine appointment, nor is it of New Testament origin. Instead, an examination of the history of Christmas exposes its roots in pagan religious rites. The Bible shows that we offend God if we try to worship him in a way that he does not approve of, as is shown in Exodus 32, 5 through 7. I've included that text here so that we can read about Israel making up their own feasts. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made proclamation and said, "Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord." And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Go get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So they came out with a golden calf and said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. They created their own feast. They said it was a feast to the Lord. They were worshiping this molten calf. And we know how this all ended. It did not end well for Israel. A quick overview here, just 6 points. History of Christian customs, celebrating Jesus' birthday. The early Christians did not celebrate Jesus' birth because they considered the celebration of anyone's birth to be a pagan custom. The World Book Encyclopedia. December 25th, there's no proof that Jesus was born on that date. Church leaders likely chose this date to coincide with pagan festivals held on or around the winter solstice. Gift giving, feasting, and partying. The Encyclopedia Americana says Saturnalia, a Roman feast celebrated in mid-December, provided the model for many of the merrymaking customs of Christmas. From this celebration, for example, were derived the elaborate feasting, the giving of gifts, and the burning of candles. The Encyclopedia Britannica notes that all work and businesses were suspended during Saturnalia. Number 4, Christmas lights. According to the Encyclopedia of Religion, Europeans decorated their homes with lights and evergreens of all kinds to celebrate the winter solstice and to combat evil spirits. Number 5, mistletoe and holly. The Druids ascribed magical properties to the mistletoe. In particular, the evergreen holly was worshipped as a promise of the sun's return, according to the Encyclopedia Americana. And according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, tree worship, common among the pagan Europeans, survived after their conversion to Christianity. One of the ways in which tree worship survived is in its custom of placing a Yule tree at an entrance or inside the house in the midwinter holidays. So even though the birth of Jesus is in the Bible, the birth date of Jesus is not given, nor are we commanded to celebrate his birthday. If we were to celebrate his birthday, it should coincide with one of the feasts that God actually gave us, like the Feast of Tabernacles, that is an 8-day feast, where Jesus may have been born on the first day of Tabernacles and circumcised on the 8th day of Tabernacles. That would make the most sense as to why Jesus was circumcised on the 8th day. There is an 8th day in the Feast of Tabernacles. But even still, the Bible does not refer to tabernacles as the birthday of Jesus, nor are we commanded to celebrate his birthday. We are commanded to celebrate his death and to remember his death each and every time we have the Lord's Supper. But of his birthday, nothing is spoken. Now I want to talk about Hanukkah. Why did Jesus celebrate the Feast of Dedication? And when the Feast of Dedication is mentioned in John chapter 10, it's because Hanukkah means dedication. The word Hanukkah is the word dedication. So the Feast of Hanukkah is the Feast of the Dedication. John 10, 22 through 24. Now it was the Feast of Dedication in Jerusalem, and it was winter. And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then the Jews surrounded him and said to him, "How long do you keep us in doubt? If you are the Christ, tell us plainly." So Jesus celebrated the Feast of the Dedication. Jesus celebrated Hanukkah. Would Jesus have celebrated Christmas? No. Jesus did not celebrate Christmas. Christmas is not in the Bible, and we are never told to celebrate the birthday of Jesus Christ. So here we have these two holidays that are conjoining on December 24th, December 25th. Merry Chrismukkah. Merry Chrismukkah. Now let's consider Amos 8:10. As a friend brought to my attention the importance of this verse, considering it talks about turning your feasts into mourning. I will turn your feasts into mourning. Your feasts. Jesus celebrated Hanukkah, but this was not one of the original 7 feasts. So in a sense, it is your feast. It is a feast that was created by man after the fact. Christmas, of course, is a man-made feast. And so both Hanukkah and Christmas connect us with your feasts. And I will turn your feasts into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the mourning of an only son. And I will make it as the mourning of an only son. What does Christmas celebrate? The birth of Jesus. I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. So here we have the great battle between Jesus and the Antichrist, and how these two feasts coming together can represent simultaneously the coming of Jesus on Hanukkah and the coming of the Antichrist on Christmas. I pray you are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.